Okay, welcome everybody to episode 3 of the Big Businesses podcast.
Start again.
Okay.
Take 3.
Okay, take 3.
Okay, hold on. So we'll start it like this.
Sorry, yes. Okay, ready?
Clang.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Take 3. Welcome everybody to the Big Businesses
Now we're
podcast.
silly.
This is a home for people who love to chirp each other in their fantasy football leagues, and a little bit of hot takes, some good knowledge, but mostly I hope you find it as funny as we do, because we don't give a fuck what everybody else thinks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Joseph, Joe, the World Commissioner of the Big Businesses Leagues, what's our sponsor today?
So we want to thank our sponsor from last week, but we've got a different one now because we're kind of blowing up, right?
Who was last week's sponsor? That was Dallas Dan's Metro Menswear out of Metro Detroit.
The women's jeans that some of our league mates
That's
wear.
correct, yeah.
So this week we've got Dr. Slingman's yogurt-infused calcium nitrate. Are your bones brittle and weak just like your fantasy management style? Well, you're in luck. Dr. Slingman's new yogurt-infused calcium nitrate drink will have your league mates saying, wow, would you look at the perfect jawbone structure on that guy? He must sling yogurt.
That is a fantastic sponsor, and let it be known that we know that you sling yogurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's known. So
I
off to
wrote
the sponsorship.
that, by the way, in a minute while I was
Did
taking
you?
a deuce last night. So, yeah. Now everybody on the internet knows.
Everybody takes deuces.
All 57
Everybody
of you
takes deuces.
and counting, people.
We had 72 watchers on the first podcast.
What?
Oh, and let's be thanking my evolution of learning how to do this shit. I think our audio is going to be pretty good today.
Yeah, we're all about gains this
All about
week.
audio.
It's all about the gains.
Right? The first episode, I realized that we're both speaking out of each other's microphones. That was shit. Second one, audio quality was just terrible. Too much gains. This one should be, the old Three Little Bears or Three Bears. I don't know what the fuck it's called. Into the news.
Into the news.
Into
Let's
the
just
news.
dive right in. Right?
So we have Kaepernick watch as we do every week. Does he have a job?
No.
No, he still doesn't have a
still
job.
nothing.
So next segment. So this is being shot right now at almost noon on Football Sunday, the worst weekend.
We couldn't wait for you
Yeah,
guys.
couldn't wait.
We couldn't wait till the games were done. The first 2 games were so good that
So
we're
good.
like, let's sneak one in before the 1 o'clocks.
Yeah, but then all this news keeps popping up.
Yeah.
So we got really
This is it.
quick,
It's like on
hot takes, baby.
literally as it's happening.
First thing came up, Dak Prescott gets the money.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to do that.
do that too.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? Is he worth being the highest paid quarterback in the history of the league? Is he worth the guaranteed $231? Is it worth the annual value of around $60 million a season?
Or are you asking?
That's a general question.
Absolutely not. I have never been a Dak Prescott guy. I never will be. I thought they were doing the right thing by kind of freezing him out and moving forward.
That's
That's what I thought they were working towards.
I'm not a Dak. They gave CD the money. They had to give him the money, but that money that's quite a bit. Anyway, aside
gonna tie him up.
from us both hating this guy, it's the way the league's going. The only person I think this
True.
really hurts is the fans. You're gonna be paying more for your tickets.
Yep.
He's
And
getting
tickets to watch Dak Prescott play football, right?
which
So
you
just to be
already
clear.
should be paid to do, not pay to do. I hate the team, but
they
got the money. It's the number one
They
team in the
haven't
league
brought that team to the
financially.
next level, and I think they're kind of capped at their potential. So even if they have a great year and they make the playoffs, they're not a championship team. They're not going to break that formula that Jerry Jones has been trying so hard to break.
But lately, there's been no precedent of a quarterback that needs to showcase wins and losses to get paid. Jordan Love, just he was
True.
the high.
Yeah,
And before that, even Jared
that's
Goff,
a fair point.
even Jared
It's
Goff
just-
didn't get tons, but he should have won the NFC Championship game. But he doesn't have anyone
These
near
guys
that much.
are still fairly new to their system, right? So my take is
sure.
they've been on their teams for a couple of years. They're trending upwards, where I think Dallas has actually plateaued into what they can do. So, oh yeah.
But their only attack's their air attack.
Yeah,
Right, they got a phenomenal air
I'm not
attack.
expecting huge things, but I still think that division's a work in progress. So they're going to be better than Washington. They're going to be better than the Giants. They'll probably make the playoffs again. But again, I don't think they're doing anything once they make the playoffs. So it's like if you want to go $250 million for a guy who's going to,
I still think they have an
Get you a
excellent
home playoff
defense.
game, then great.
It's just tough because obviously you're an Eagles
I mean,
fan.
I'm not biased. That's not what this is about. This isn't about oh yeah, I guess I kind of look like a Philly fan, right? But yeah, no. So that
Okay,
has
so
nothing,
nothing to do with
that
it
whatsoever.
All right, so next, before we get arrested, leads into Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I love
Filling
like,
the
convicts,
cuffs.
Like,
What? Okay, I am dying to see what actually happened versus what the reality is.
Right.
Like, is it really a Scotty Scheffler moment where it was just a misunderstanding and he gets chucked? And
is
it
he
really
playing at one?
He's playing.
He's playing.
He's playing 100%.
Okay, so he's playing.
Is he going to be?
But he's in jail
fired
right
up?
now.
No, he's not in jail right now.
But
they let him go. They cuffed him. He was on the ground, but they let him go.
Oh, okay.
That's how the story goes.
Interesting.
Now, granted, it is not even noon yet, so we don't have all the details.
Yeah.
Everybody's covering it. It's obviously a lot of news. But, like, what is going on?
Yeah. Right? It's like he
Like-
goes at 11:45, he's like Django Unchained, and then 1 o'clock he's like getting the first snap and going for like 80 yards.
That police officer must have a Jacksonville Jaguars tattoo somewhere on their body because they clearly, like, it's not like an unknown face. He's got 7,400 children, so everybody knows what he looks like.
Yeah.
Because all of his children are police officers. Whatever. He is one of the most recognizable NFL players in the league, no question.
Okay, where I kind of go with it too is he didn't even like run away from the cops. This is the fastest man.
Yeah.
Like he's literally called the cheetah.
Yeah, and there's nothing
And he
to show.
just submitted. He was
And they said it was a traffic infraction. That covers a lot of possibilities. What fucking
you're not allowed
traffic
to
infraction
drive in a car
is
with a cheetah?
gonna
Like
is
I
gonna
don't
have?
know. What does that even mean?
Like, did he chirp the cops? Was he being a dick? Probably. I don't know. Fuck. But like,
Tyreek Hill.
it's just amazing to see the very first weekend he's about to go play 1 o'clock game. He gets arrested in the morning. Not I shouldn't say not arrested. He gets cuffed in the morning.
Got
And,
detained. No,
and-
not even detained.
Not detained.
Yeah. Okay.
He got cuffed and chucked on the ground. And but does he take it out on Jacksonville?
I know now it's like
Now he's
I
gonna
wanna
be,
see him
like,
play even more. Right?
Fired
So,
up. He's
yeah.
gonna be like, God, the police.
Waddle owners are probably super jacked for like a quick second. though, right? They're
Oh,
just like,
Jacksonville's probably jacked for a second.
yeah.
Everybody except for Tua owners were jacked for a second. And Tyreek owners.
If you own Tua,
Yeah.
with or without him, you suck.
All right, next one. Another piece of news. Russell Wilson is just old.
I like this one.
Now, Fields taking the field. He's fielding a team.
You wanted to do a pun.
I wanted to do it. I got
Fields
you.
of
He's fielding a
dreams,
team.
baby.
Russell Wilson's obviously not starting today, as everybody knows. Justin Fields is in, brings a different dynamic. What does it do for George Pickens?
I think Pickens is good with or without Fields or Wilson. So I think it doesn't matter. I think Pickens is going to get his target share. I think he'll be fine.
But your target share is a percentage, and how many less throws are going to go when Justin Fields is on them.
Yeah.
So, he's going to get his target share, but are his targets going to go down? Yes, they will.
His targets might go down a bit.
Is his
but I don't
quality
think
of
it's-
targets going down?
The quality,
Yes, they
maybe.
are.
But you know what? I was excited to see what Russ could do with this team specifically. But I actually am one of the few people that think, fantasy-wise, I don't think it affects much. And I think it's actually like a bump for everybody except Najee Harris.
See, I don't think it's bump for everybody across the board.
Yeah. See, I like Fields
Except for
for
Fields.
fantasy, and I don't like Fields for real life football. But to be determined, this is the best situation he'll probably ever see. So let's see what he does with the opportunity. But I could fully see him having a decent week, them giving him another chance next week, and I think they've got somebody easy next week. I think Pittsburgh's playing like Denver or something like that.
Yeah, this week they're playing the Falcons. So that's another thing, too, is that they might be down in a hurry.
I could see them losing.
They have a
this
good
game,
defense.
but taking a lot of positives out of the game.
It's going to be wild to see.
Yeah.
I think it takes away from Najee. It takes away from their RB2 there, Jalen Warren, who I think is fantastic. I think it takes away from every single receiver that is on that field. He can play very well, but he's just so inconsistent completely across the board. So that's my take from that.
Yeah. To be determined. I picked him up
TBD.
yesterday.
TBD.
TBD, but I picked him up in Big Biz yesterday in case he blows up, because if he out of
Again.
nowhere rushes, goes over 100 yards, grabs that bonus,
That's okay.
has a 30-point week, I'm killing it in fantasy.
And that's why we're here. It's fantasy purposes, obviously. Fantasy purposes, he could be a QB1. Right? He's always been borderline. That's something who's been phenomenal if he has these crazy games against a run soft defense. He can split teams open if they have a poor defensive line. No questions. But that's not usually with his arm. But he can with his arm if they have, it's just such a
he
question
supported
mark.
a wide receiver one last year with DJ Moore. So
In some games,
Yeah.
In some
So-
games, Moore was the wide receiver 48,000. So it doesn't really make any. There's no
8,000 receivers in fantasy football. I didn't know if you guys
there's
knew
just
that.
no there's just
Watered
no
down
consistency.
market.
It's just so hard to, unless you're in a 2 QB league, it's just hard to grab him because you just don't know. Like, I don't have any confidence starting him. Unless he's playing my favorite
So,
team, the Lions,
let's-
then of course he is.
Let's do your quick fantasy take. How many points do you put him at this week?
Standard league, I put him at 19 points generously.
That's good. See, I like that.
I said generously.
I'm going to take him over 20. So let's revisit this next week and see what happens.
We'll do a little wins and losses.
Done?
So quick recap before we get to league news. We had, obviously, on Thursday, we had Chiefs-Ravens, and on Friday, we had the Brazil debacle in Green Bay.
What a great 2 games, right?
Really great 2
Yeah.
games. The Chiefs-Ravens started out phenomenal. And I'm just going to... Do we need to talk about reffing?
If you want to, we could throw one of these down if you want.
Well, you got one to use. I got one to use. You can use it whenever. I'm waiting. I'm
I
biding my time.
almost used it on your Fields thing, man.
Well, wait till we get the yellows in there. You know?
Yeah.
Well, throw the flag for hyperbole. Not yet. Well, you can do it.
We're just practicing. It's all in the wrist.
So let's go Chiefs-Ravens first.
Okay. Chiefs-Ravens was awesome. The big takeaway is Isaiah Likely. He's going to be great. I don't think this was Mark Andrews is hurt. And
Wasn't he playing offensive line at one point?
Yeah, he was just blocking, I think. He did have a really nice catch and slip on 3rd down where he couldn't get the first down. So
he looked as athletic as I am.
Yeah, that's what I would look like. Do you ever wonder what you would look like if you're out there? That I would be Mark Andrews.
I would catch
on
that
every
and
play.
I would go, oh! I'd try to turn and I'm not an MB turner.
Yeah, I'm not an MB turner.
I can't turn left.
So Likely looked awesome. I think that's going to continue. I think he's going to play out of the slot. He's going to catch a ton of passes. So anybody who snagged him late in the draft, awesome. If he's a free agent, your 2.0 league, you should probably put a lot of money on him.
He's not likely available.
Yeah, but I'm likely putting a lot of money on him in the one league that he didn't get drafted. So
and it's likely he does well.
Yeah, you can
That's enough.
likely
take that to the bank.
Okay.
Um,
So Likely looked great. I'm playing the guy with Lamar in both leagues. So
Fantastic.
That was great. It was a great start. It's one of those
Lamar looks good.
You ever walk into your Thursday matchup and by Thursday night you're like, I can't watch football this weekend because he already fucked me over. So
You already lost.
yeah, it was nice that he got 46 carries for like 276 yards. I'm not sure if that's the exact number.
Apparently Derrick Henry's on that team.
I heard
12 carries.
He only plays one drive a game, just the opening drive.
And then Justice Hill
gets 9 points and then 1 point. But with that said, I'm still not worried about Henry. I think it's one of those games because
you got to ease him in, and you got to ease him
so
in.
I think once they get a couple weeks in with the line, they'll be much better. So a lot of good stuff from the Ravens, but at the end of the day, they lost the game, and then his boy Worthy. We're all not.
You got to start Xavier Worthy
because
he gets 4 touches and 2 of them go for long scores.
Yeah. So it reminded me of
just football intelligence, ladies and gentlemen. Football intelligence.
Also, Hollywood Brown's hurt. So, but where does he even fit in with this team? They've got so many weapons. It's insane. So good. I got Deshaun Jackson vibes from Worthy in week 1. It felt like when Andy Reid had the Eagles and Deshaun Jackson was a rookie and he did those end rounds and he's just taking everything deep.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't high on him before the draft after watching that and that they're actually going to use him a lot. He could be really good.
Yeah, he's going to be a utility tool, boomer bust player for fantasy purposes, I think. Yeah. Now, there's a couple things that took away from that game, and we don't even need to get into the refereeing because it's been covered by every fucking person on this planet, and it was weird to say anything. But if you're going to start calling these offensive linemen for being off formation, you got to kind of do it both ways. And most importantly, if you're going to let your defensive coordinator call a fucking timeout, not one, get a penalty for it, and also at the same time, take the timeout. Like, what?
So Spags runs up to the 50-yard line and he's just calling timeouts now. It's like he totally forgot. Like, you are not the head coach, eh, bro?
Not allowed to do it.
So you were when you were on the Giants and they were shit and you had a pretty good defense but did nothing with it.
But how is this
you're not a head coach, eh? Like,
just forgotten about now.
Yeah.
You can't do that. And not at the same time, the referees accepted
role,
it.
Eh? Yeah.
They accepted it.
Yeah, they're like, huh?
They're like, oh, that's it.
Oh, you used to be a head coach. So, that's cool.
Good. But one thing I really want to take away before we get to the next game, because you basically covered most everything, I do have a big concern if Lamar keeps running this way. He's running like he's like an actual running back, like he's Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And he's going shoulder to shoulder with these guys. He's putting his head down, getting the extra yards. In game 6, he's going to have CT.
Yeah, it reminded me of Michael Vick running wild, right?
Do not do this shit.
Looks great while he's doing it until he gets that one hit. So
you want longevity on your team at all for the year, for the season? Like, that's going to get... I hope it doesn't get him injured. I don't have him on my teams, but I don't want to see it happen. But that's a reckless way to be running.
Well,
as a
he'll
quarterback.
taper off
Take your
now that
slides.
he's not playing me every week. So just because I got double dinged on Lamar this week, he'll smooth out in the next couple weeks.
Yeah,
but
the unintelligent Ravens fans are like, yeah, this is sweet. The smart Ravens fans are like, please don't hurt yourself.
if you didn't have a picture and you're just like, say you're listening to the game and just from the audio alone, Collinsworth was so all over this guy's balls for the whole game.
Collinsworth is the worst.
That Lamar Jackson, I really knows how to run with that football. Like, what are you talking about? You look at the score, they're down 10. You think they're up 30 with the way that Collinsworth was just praising Lamar for the whole game, eh?
Collinsworth, this isn't even a hot take, I don't think, is the worst commentator in football.
Ever. He's so bad. Football. And he has a kid. I learned that this weekend, too. I didn't know he had a kid.
Well, you'd have to... It'd say Collinsworth. You can see the first name, so you can see the last name, but you just listen to the voice, and you're like, that's an unfortunate copy-paste. Not like just, our fortunate copy-paste.
Right. That we there's ways of copying and pasting
that are positive.
Correctly. Yeah.
That are positive. That was not positive. That was not positive. Okay, let's get on to Green Bay, Philly, because we're taking along again.
I know, we ramble.
All right, Green Bay, Philly. This is the Brazil game, the penicillin game.
I think everybody got their injections.
Everybody got their injections. They were there.
Yeah.
The only person that didn't show up was the greenskeeper, because that fucking field was terrible. And
we were talking about cleats in the third quarter. It's like they couldn't pick out a fucking.
Did you see
grab Al Bundy and bring him to the game and just have him size everybody up, because that was ridiculous.
I've seen better kept lawns in my front over here. Like my neighborhood has way better kept lawns. I don't know.
Tecumseh doesn't fuck around, but
that stadium is a phenomenal world class stadium. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
it was just terrible. Now you can't play it on pure soccer pitches like that very well. They have a slight sometimes There's a big difference in soil content. I guess it was
much colder than they were anticipating.
It was colder than they're anticipating, but they got no grip. It was a little bit slippery out there as far as moisture level, but like the grass was just coming out. It was long.
You know who found their footing real quick?
Saquon Barkley.
That guy. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that really shows what's going to happen with Saquon.
So I'm super happy as an Eagles fan. I'm literally about to bust through the bottom of this desk, right? But man, I drafted him in every single mock, in every single league that I could. And then Big Biz comes around. Barkley's my literally highest guy that I'm on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, if I'm drafting fourth, I'm probably taking him. But I can't defend not going Breece Hall at 2 and Bijan at 3. And then, that's where the debate starts, where if you want to take a receiver or running back. But I had Barkley ahead of Jonathan Taylor. I had Barkley ahead of too. All those guys.
Too, yeah.
But then as soon as the game started, I'm like, oh, God, I was right. I was so right. And I was more right.
Well, it's one game. Let's get crazy.
It's going to be so good.
It's one game. Well, there's going to be no more tush push because you can't,
Yeah, I think they even showed, 2 of them were...
They tried 2, both of them failed.
Yeah. So it doesn't look good, but it's also not needed.
Who called the Jason Kelce effect?
He did.
Football intelligence, ladies and gentlemen. Football intelligence.
He did.
So it looks like. This is what it sounds like.
He called it the best offensive lineman for the Eagles' history. Retiring would affect
the team. Football intelligence.
But Barkley, amazing. He looked so good. He's just pushing through that line like it's nothing. So Swift last year used to get to the 10-yard line. I think they led the league in carries inside the 10. And you know how many touchdowns Swift had from outside the 10-yard line?
You're going to tell me.
0.
Oh, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, because he was pretty shit. So Barkley is not going to have that
Lions
problem.
got rid of him.
Swift would get to the 1 or 2 yard line, and then Hurts would punch it in. And so Hurts had 15 rushing touchdowns because of that. That number is going to go down to 8 to 10.
Yeah, good thing someone made a bet about that.
Who made a bet?
I did with Poons.
Oh, I love that. That.
Well, it's not quite that.
Hurts is overrated for fantasy this year. See, I can be political. I can chirp Dak and Hurts in the same podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's going to do good things with his team. They looked rough at the start. I think they're going to have to get their shit together. But no, I liked what I saw in the second half. AJ Brown got involved. Devonta Smith looks like he's out of a cannon every time he catches So
AJ Brown got involved in 3 catches. No, I'm joking.
So that's all that he needs is one banger.
But that huge 67-yard touchdown. He looked really great. He looked great on that. And Devonta Smith looked really good. But do you know who I was super impressed with? Was Jahan Dotson.
Just not Dot right now. Not Dot right now.
He's just impressive.
There'll be one game where he catches something and you're just like, oh, cool, they got that guy. I'm glad they called that guy.
But their defense didn't look great.
No, their D is shoddy as hell right
but
now.
They had some slips to the thing. But by the way, thank you for taking CJ GJ away from the Lions.
Oh yeah. I still like.
I was high on CJ Gardner-Johnson when he was in line. He played like 3 games for us.
Yeah.
I had a lot of
He
excitement.
broke his sweat, I think, once. Yeah.
But he had an injury. I give him that.
No.
But he's got a lot of swagger. He's got a lot of locker room, and you guys can have him. He's all yours.
Yeah.
Because if you look at when he was in our lineup, we had like the worst secondary in the league. So it was,
we'll take him. He was an
riddance.
All-Pro 2 years ago when he was
Sure.
on the Eagles. So.
But guess what? It's not 2 years ago, and he has a major injury in between.
Nah. Tomato. So, what do you like from the Green Bay side of things?
As a Lions fan, I wish a speedy, healthy, but actually kind of slow recovery for Jordan Love. It's tough to get everything from game one. It sucks to see a man go down and get injury, even if he is against a team or on the team that you don't like as much. You never want to see a human being get injured, but guess what? You got $220 million. I don't feel too bad for him.
Yeah.
But if
That
they
should
don't
cover his rehab.
if they don't have that guy in the lineup, they are toast. Malik Willis is not going to cut it.
No,
And then
I didn't even know that they just signed Malik Willis and they didn't even have a backup.
they had backup in the practice team. Malik
Yeah,
Willis
but
on the
like
backup.
a legitimate guy who could come in. Like they're kind of screwed, man.
And I think he thought a Hail Mary was legitimately a prayer because he didn't even come close to throwing that football.
Yeah.
We
still don't know if he could throw. We still don't know if he
comical to
learned
see.
how to throw since he was in Tennessee because he couldn't get a pass off. So.
Couldn't, no. And it's going to bring down fantasy purposes all the wide receivers for that team. So, and we know who the number 1 is now, at least it looks like, is Jaden Reed.
Man.
And he looked fantastic.
Yeah.
And Josh Jacobs, our shoulders are about to get a lot fucking heavier.
Dan, my brother, might be the most
Copy-paste.
spoiled fantasy player ever, eh?
Why does he have Josh Jacobs?
He's
Jordan Reed.
He had Reed, yeah. And so he's sitting there watching the game. He's like half texting, like kind of looking up. It's like, 70-yard touchdown. Oh, sweet.
Unreal.
And then he goes back on his phone. It's like, really? Like, do you know what I would do for 13 points in our league?
It's
like,
a
you
lot.
don't actually want to know what I would stoop to for 13 fantasy.
He'd started a podcast.
And he's, yeah. Like, I started a podcast with this guy to talk about it. So,
Yeah, you do that.
I'm getting
All right,
pissed now.
let's get on to the league news.
All right.
All right, so league news today. First on the block, let's go awful trade requests. Will Boski, you're on the block. There's been a couple now. There's been a couple.
Did he hit you up?
He hit me up. Let's see if I'll pull it up on the old telly at the moment because it was. I was gonna put it in the pod last time, but this way it was a very bad request to which I had immediately rejected. But then I thought, wait a second, I'm supposed to take a screenshot of that so I can use it. So I requested him to send me the request again because I said I really liked it. I said it in so many words. And he's like, oh, okay, why do you want me to send it again? I said, so I can screenshot it and then put it on the podcast. And he thought it was quite funny. No, he was
So you
pretty mad
rejected
about
the
that.
same trade twice.
Twice within 5 minutes.
That's amazing.
And it was...
That's big biz right there.
No, that's the one I tried sending somebody else. But that's the thing is like, trades are important. But when you try to send me a RB2 on the team, so a kind of a second running back in the team, and an aging Kirk Cousins on a new team who's going to be maybe replaced mid-season.
What's the trade?
For James Conner and Caleb Williams.
Okay.
You can go suck a fuck.
Suck a fuck.
That is a
That might go viral. Suck a fuck.
That's a reference to Donnie Darko. Fantastic movie.
Oh, never
But
watched
David
it.
Montgomery and Kirk Cousins for James Conner and Caleb Williams, that deserves to be on this goddamn podcast because that is an awful trade request. Unless you disagree with me, but I just think it's awful. James Conner and Caleb Williams, Kirk Cousins, David Montgomery.
Yeah.
Do you know what he said?
I don't hate it, but I don't love it. So.
Well, it's good enough to reject twice. and then he wished poor Connor cancer back. If that's just bad form.
That's low. That's a
bad
low
form.
blow.
Because he is not getting it back.
What kind of cancer? No.
I think just scan or something.
like
It's like
that.
light
Yeah.
stuff that you just cut out. But no, James Conner's gonna be a beast. Caleb Williams can be a beast. I hope he's not a beast because again, I'm that fan. But yeah, offered trade request. Will Boska's in the block. What do you send you?
I've got some live news here. So last night.
What do you mean live news? Is it still a live trade?
It's still open. I haven't hit reject.
Oh, we're gonna do it live on the
yet,
air.
so.
Live on the air.
So I'm very mixed on this trade request actually. So I guess he's just trying to peddle Montgomery. Like he's not.
Did he peddle to you too?
Yeah. So Montgomery's in this package too. So he sent me DJ Moore and Monty, and he wants
DJ
Michael Wilson. So who I actually think he's a good whatever guy, but like nothing really.
Yeah.
So we'll call him a nothing person. That's not offensive at all. You're nothing. Right? And Josh Jacobs, who I love and who I just think
who now is going to have a lot more on his shoulders. He's going to have 25 touches a game.
So the argument for me is if I take it, I go Monty as my running back 2, and I sorely upgrade my receiver spot with DJ Moore. But Monty, I think, dips a little bit from last year.
I think he does.
Got more people.
With one more year of Gibbs,
with.
Monty's going to have a point in the team, no question.
Yep, and goal lines, right?
And he's going to have, he's going to for sure have a goal line presence. He's for sure going to have like first down runs, stuff like that. And he might even be involved in passing. He's a good running back. The problem is it's a Jahmyr Gibbs, and he's just growing.
Yeah.
So they're going to get him more involved in the game.
Yep.
So I don't think he's not nowhere in the same area as obviously Josh Jacobs. But in my take, and I don't know if you agree with me on this, but like, the thing for me on this, get that ready. The thing for me on this is like, Wilson is a nothing human being, as he stated. But as much as I do think that DJ Moore's good, DJ Moore now has a Rome.
Yep.
So he's in Rome. And he's got a Keenan, and a Cole Kmet, and a Caleb Williams.
And Keenan Allen.
There's also Keenan Allen.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Targets aren't going to be where they used to be. You know, I think he's going to have obviously a share, but where he's going to be now, same as Montgomery. Like last year, those two guys were great. This year, I don't know where they're at.
I could see Monty dipping to 7 or 8 touchdowns as opposed to 13 last year.
Yeah, he's not. If he gets 13,
at that pace, right? And he missed a couple games too, and he still had 13 touchdowns.
He's a great running back.
If that's what you're signing up for, sure, I'd take that. I'd smash accept on this thing, but. I've really been 50-50, so...
What is he going to do, folks?
League mates, let me know what your thoughts are.
No, you got to do it right now.
No, I can't do it right now. That's too...
That would have been so cool.
I gotta sit and analyze and just stew over it all day and not even pay attention to the 1 o'clock games and just stare at the trade requests instead and like ruin my whole football afternoon.
And we had one of the league members send us something for our constitutional question that we're bringing up today.
We like this.
Trade etiquette. We should have every single week constitutional question.
So send yours forward, people.
So what's the appropriate response time? Under 12 hours is what's been put on the docket. And I think that's pretty good.
I even think that's a lot. Like, that's a long time to wait.
And sending it a courtesy note to say, hi, I've received your request. I saw it. I'm just thinking about it.
Let me take a look. Let me ponder on this. Yeah, no. That's my pet peeve. You send something to somebody and then you hear nothing for 3 days. Do you know how long 3 days is in the fantasy football universe to have a trade just sitting there open? I even send the follow-up text.
It's very frustrating. I
send them. I'm so annoying. Like, people probably hate me, but they don't tell me to my face. I'll send the trade request. I'll screenshot the trade request and send it as a picture to the person.
Yeah.
Like, I sent you a trade. Eh?
And I don't want to give away some of the things I do as tactics, so I can't say them entirely here. But one thing I don't like, because I like the courtesy that you have to at least acknowledge it. I think that's just nice. But he also says, don't decline trade without a courtesy counter at minimum and note. I don't think you need to do that.
If you want to decline, people just don't want to. Like, when I maybe hit reject on Will's trade, I'm not going to counter, right? I'm just going to, if I want Jacobs, and that's probably the best package I'm going to get for Jacobs. So if I want to keep Jacobs, I'm not going to send a counter.
It's not an unreasonable offer. I just don't like it because I don't like the prospect. But that's just your own team. You do what you like. But the declining with a trade, like, what if I just don't want to trade? I'm gonna say, okay, I could put a note, hey, I'm not into trade, but I can just decline, and you just know that I don't want to trade. I think that part's too much, but I like the first part, 12 hours.
Yeah, 12 hours is fair. It's fair.
Yeah, because unless it's like game day and you really gotta get it, like, hey man, like
I like to just get my shit done though, so 12 minutes would be much better.
12 minutes would be great. 12 minutes. Now we also have the answer. Is it Rishi or Rashi? It is Rishi, so it's not Rashi. He doesn't have any skin infections. Next,
it's not itchy.
Week 1 recap so far. This is going to be the first 2 games. Now, fantasy purposes for our league, I'm dominating now against Ninja. Good luck, buddy.
So this is like the first time that I can remember before the Sunday games have even hit yet. And like 3 or 4 of our matchups are already
sorted.
Kind of sorted, yeah. So...
Well, there's a lot of fantasy implications for the first
Worthy,
first 2
Reed,
games.
and Barkley basically won 3 different teams their week. So it's going to be hard for other teams to...
Huge weeks.
Get back into it, right?
Huge weeks. Yeah, so we can recap.
Silent Ninja in Iceman. Silent Ninja still has a 29% chance of winning his matchup against you.
It can happen.
29.
It can happen.
And the 1 o'clock games haven't started yet.
No.
And
Not yet.
King Henry's Legion, my brother, is really, really pumping Victoria's Secrets. So there's no secrecies about this one, right?
No, Victorious there. He is not going to be.
25% chance, and the 1 o'clock games haven't even started yet. So that's a
rough.
good one.
That's rough.
And our boy Hawk Tua also has a 29% chance of winning.
See, that's what do you call that? Fantasy karma for sending absolute terrible trades.
Mine wasn't as bad as yours, but yours I could.
Mine wasn't. Oh, like listen, hyperbole.
It's like
here
I want to
wins.
go Connor for Monty. It's close, and then give me Caleb Williams on top of that too because I
for
have to draft
Kirk
a
Cousins.
quarterback.
So no thanks.
Yeah.
And, let's just get it out of the way too. I'm throwing a flag.
Oh, that I like that.
Throwing a flag.
Okay.
Coach's challenge. Stop with the damn trade requests. Thousands of requests before week 1.
No. Okay.
I hate it.
I'm gonna triple stamp or double stamp. No way. You said it. Big Biz doesn't sleep, eh? It
doesn't sleep,
week, man.
It doesn't sleep.
I want
but,
trade requests at 2 a.m, waking me up. Like, why does he want this guy at this hour?
Yeah, but like, if you drafted poorly, that's your own fault. Like for me, I like to see that boys. Give me a week to see that shakes out. Let me get really emotional, and then I'll make some trades.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes you just have a meltdown in the middle of your draft. 2 of us did, and you have to make trades.
Oh,
Sometimes
the collusion trades.
The trades that went through. So
the
we wasted 2 flags on one play.
Yeah, but it was worth it.
It was pretty good.
It was worth it. Any final thoughts for your end before week 1 starts getting really underway?
I have to first chirp Snorlax too. So our defending champ, the Ayak jersey rip. So he is getting ripped apart right now, eh? Oh yeah, I don't say people's names right. I think we should just get over that at some point. That should be like a constitution. You can say people's names however you want, but
you put the emphasis on the wrong syllables.
Barkley and Jake Elliott went for 10, eh? So the Taco Monsters is eating this guy alive. So our defending champ's gonna be 0-1. I kind of love that. So
I love
best
seeing
of luck
people
to
go
you,
down.
B-Rob Liver.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good year. So looking forward to some big games today. We have a lot of good games today. I know every week you can kind of say that, but fuck, am I ever excited? You excited?
I'm excited.
Fucking let's get it done, baby. Week 1. Let's do it up.
We'll talk waiver picks. We'll talk whatever you guys want to talk. Give us some feedback, some suggestions, and we'll make it happen. But for all our friends and family out there watching, Garrett at the propane shop. We appreciate the support, and cheers to it.
Like and subscribe. Smash that button.
All right.
Cheers. We'll see you guys later. God damn, we're fucking good looking.
Not bad, eh?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah.